Good afternoon. Antonio Valles, world class certified speaking coach. Today is our 65th day of the 77-day live streaming challenge. We're going to continue with stories, and today we continue with first times. When was the first time that you visited a foreign country? Do you remember? For me, it was visiting the United States for the first time, but Boston. Yes. Well, after I graduated from college in Mexico, Monterrey, Mexico, I was transferred from my job in Laredo, Texas, Nuevo Laredo, Tamaulipas, to Boston. I was sent there on training, and I was sent there for 3 months, and I stayed there for 2 years. Well, I needed to drive. I needed to go from the apartment where I lived to the plant where I worked. It was the first time that I drove in a freeway, and getting into the freeway and looking at the word yield, I didn't know what it meant. So I finally had to figure it out. And then getting in there and trying to yield, trying to merge. There was no merging lights, no merging lanes. I didn't even know what a merging lane was, but I don't think they had any. Well, and then as you got out of the freeways, you went to those rotaries. Oh no, I didn't know what to do in those rotaries. Then somebody told me, just let every time you approach one, you let the people that are in there have right of way. That was simple. So I learned, and pretty soon I became an expert. 2 years? Well, what can you expect? But difficult was it? Boston was a difficult place to drive. I'm sure those from you that are from Boston or have been in Boston will agree with me. But there was another most difficult place to drive. Can you guess that where that was? No, not New York, not Mexico City, although those places are very difficult. But it was Europe, England, England Rothes, Scotland. After I got married, my wife and I visited Glenrothes. I went there on business trip, and it was in Christmas. I was very happy because I wasn't going to drive. But then the manager that I was visiting said, "Well, you're going to be here for 2 weeks. So we need to rent a car for you." Oh no, no, I don't want to drive on the wrong side of the street. Well, it's the right the right side for them, but it's on the left. You have to be keeping your left all the time. The most difficult part for me was turning right. You're on the left and you have to continue on your left as you turn. Guess what I did all the time? I stayed on my right. I came from my left to my right. Fortunately, the road from the plant to the hotel was not too crowded, and they didn't ride too fast, so I never had an accident. But one of the things that I really happened to me was that every time I got in the car, I I went to the left side of the car instead of going to the right side. I hope you like these stories, and I'd love to hear your stories as well. I'm sure you have first stories. Thank you for listening, and we will continue tomorrow. We have two more stories and then a summary. and then we'll see what comes next. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, stay safe and stay proactive. Thank you. You have been very kind listening to me, and I will do my best for the rest